Okay, Greg, first of all, I feel like calling you There's Something About Greg.
My hair is very large today. I feel like the iceberg that hit the Titanic. My hair is so large today, but that's okay.
Even do that if I have like the right pomade to even
with
my feathers.
A lot of people on another podcast I do every week, which is the Dustin Nielsen show in Edmonton. They like to mock me. The people in our chat mock me because I blink too much. The people in that chat mock me because they say I have Lego hair. They say I look like a Lego man because of my hair.
Maybe. I don't know. But
you should not have
said
said that because I can see it now.
Now you're not gonna be able to unsee it. Is that the problem now, Zach? Yeah, you gonna think of Lego hair boy here?
That's fine. Listen. I didn't have to go to Turkey to get it. Okay, that's if my dad, my dad looks like a crystal ball that a fortune teller should be using. And the fact that my hair is still with me is sort of a minor miracle. So I will gladly build this thing up like it's a Jenga tower to flaunt my follicles once in a while.
See, I never met my dad, so I don't know, like biological dad, because I was adopted. So I never know what my dad looked like. I know he was like a big, strong dude with a red mustache. That's all I know. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what's in store for my hair.
Like Yukon Cornelius? Like that guy?
No, I don't think like to that extent. I know he had like a red mustache. He had like I think he was English/Scottish, and he had like a red goatee or red mustache, and that's about all that I know about him.
There you go. No, my dad started.
I have no idea what I'm in store for.
My dad started losing his hair, I think, when he turned 40, and then me being a kid, I used to make fun of him for it. And I'm sure that he, under his breath, would look forward to the day in which my hair fell out, but it hasn't yet. And of course, and frankly, it hasn't turned gray at all either. I have a perfectly colored head of hair.
I'm getting the salt and pepper.
All natural.
You know what's hilarious? You know what's hilarious? Yeah. Completely hilarious.
What's that?
Old hockey cards from the 70s, where dudes that look like they are 70 are like 25. Did everybody just look old? Like, and you see it on hockey, I always go back, I'm like, and then I look at the back, I'm like, he's like 22 years old and he looks like he's 80. Did people just age faster?
Something happened
in the 70s. What happened to people?
It's also in the movies. Like there used to be a Twitter account that would mark time based on how old Wilford Brimley was in the movie.
Oh,
Cocoon.
that's right. Wasn't it 50? It was 50 years old, and he looked like he was had 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel.
He looked like an elderly Ken Hitchcock. But the Cocoon was a movie about a bunch of senior citizens who find an alien pod in a swimming pool at their retirement home, and it gives them the vim and vigor of youth. People like Wilford Brimley looked a lot older. People on 1970s hockey cards looked a lot older, and this maybe it's beauty routine. I don't know. Maybe it's less smoking. I don't know. There's probably some reason for it.
It's got to be the smoking. It's got to be the smoking. It's got to be the smoking. It's got to be all the smoking. I'm gonna go with smoking. I'm gonna go with door number 2. Smoking.
There you go.
I'm gonna say smoking. Dude, you know what I need today? I need a really fun show. I've had a long life. And it's led up to this day. And I need a really, really fun show today at the end of the. So this is my homework for you. Not homework. My job for you today is I need a really fun show. Can you deliver a really fun show? I want to have a great weekend. Have a lot of fun. I want to have a lot of fun today over the next 60 minutes or so. I need a really fun show today. I just need it.
Well, that brings me to my next point, Marek, which is pride jerseys. You know, I really think that... I know. Listen,
let's just get all the light everything on fire topics out of the way here. Let's get to this, though. The Blueprint is powered by FanDuel. As we all know, download the app today and play your game on FanDuel. Did I mention I need a fun show today? Need a really, really fun show today. We'll see what's in store. Greg Wyshynski from ESPN and ESPN.com is aboard. Crosby injured. That's not fun. Habs staying hot. That is fun. Schaefer skating all the minutes. That's fun. Tom Wilson hit. Fun for Tom Wilson. Not so much fun for Jack McBain. And game show, which can be fun.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. We got to. So
it'll
I saw
definitely be fun.
I saw your tweet. Like, thanks for giving me the heads up on social media, as opposed to just sending me a text or anything. It's game show time. I have no idea.
That's how the players find out nowadays, Jeff. That's how the players find out.
right.
So that's what we're doing for you. You go to Twitter.
That's exactly right.
Right.
It's like you're watching SportsCenter TSN at the trade deadline. You just found out about the news that way.
Oh,
before we get to everything else, let's
Yes.
talk about something else that we talked about off air, which is tanking. I am a plank in my platform is that I don't care about tanking. Like, I don't think it's a problem. I think if you want to run the risk of alienating your consumer base by, gutting your team and gutting for a top overall pick, then more power to you. There's at least some skin in the game. There's at least some level of risk involved in doing that that I appreciate. And also the level of risk is because of the draft lottery system the National Hockey League has. There's no guarantee you're going to get anything. And I understand we're going to be talking about Matthew Schaefer later. I actually went back and checked how many teams had a worse record than the Islanders. I think it was like 7, maybe teams, 6 or 7 teams that had a worse record than the Islanders last year.
Pause on that. The feeling is the sliding door moment was the disallowed Kyle Palmieri goal against Columbus that ended up being the difference between the Islanders and the Rangers getting the Schaefer lottery ball. That's the one that Islanders fans have isolated as the moment. And at the time, like, oh, this sucks. But really, this is like the Zen farmer, maybe. That was the moment where they actually won the lottery. And the thing that's been pointed out by a lot of people, it's good hockey karma because they didn't throw the season to try to get the first overall pick. And they ended up with Matthew Schaefer. That was the good karma draft story.
So you don't think it's a give back for the NHL temporarily taking the All-Star game away from UBS Arena?
Oh, geez.
That was the prevailing thought at the time.
Okay, I'm getting in a better mood here now. This is good. All right, you're working. Your stuff's where you're bringing your A material. Okay, you're bringing the high heat from here. All right, it's good. Feeling good. Keep going.
I'll get to the lottery thing in a second. But now that we're on it, like, imagine Matthew Schaefer. Okay, not on the Islanders, but having the same effect that he's having with the Islanders on the Sharks or the Blackhawks or the Predators working underneath Roman Josi or the Kraken or the Bruins or the Flyers. Shall I go on? It is incredible that the Islanders ended up with that pick over
good karma,
all
good hockey karma.
Teams.
You guys didn't tank. And for that, hockey gives you Matthew Schaefer. That is the good karma story, the good hockey karma story. You guys didn't you guys didn't flush this one, so you get Matthew Schaefer.
I will say this.
Okay.
They don't deserve him because they have Macklin's. Hold on. Because they have Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah.
And that is enough to resuscitate the franchise. And point the Sharks forward for at least the next decade. But could you imagine Matthew Schaefer with Celebrini and Smith and Eklund and that team? My God, could you find a better pick of youthful exuberance than Matthew Schaefer threading passes to Macklin Celebrini, the new Makar and McKinnon for a new century?
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be fantastic.
But here's the thing. They have Macklin. They don't need Schaefer. The Islanders were a boring, moribund franchise. Now they have Matthew Schaefer, who, by the way, to his credit, is not only an on-ice impact player that we've never seen before at his age as a defenseman, but also is such, again, to sit on the bench and do your post-game interview and gush about how much you love being an Islander. Like, this is an endorsement that this franchise needed in the worst way. And he brings it every time he talks into a microphone. And it's such a beautiful thing.
It's awesome. And there's a wholesomeness about him as well. and everybody knows the family story and the personal story, and it's impossible not to cheer for this guy. Like I've always said, one of the hallmarks of having a really cool team, and this sometimes is sort of thrust upon you, like Columbus, for example, through tragedy with the Gaudreaus, and sometimes it's thrust upon you because you have a personality like Matthew Schaefer. One of the cool things is being everybody's second favorite team. And Matthew Schaefer is making it really easy for people to have the Islanders as their second favorite team.
Ooh, that's a good
Tough for the
question
Rangers. Tough for a Rangers
good
fan. I get it. I get it. But like, listen, safe to say the majority of people are cheering for the Columbus Blue Jackets right now and have been going back to last year after the tragedy. Everybody wants like some level of sort of hockey healing there, to say nothing about, Bill Simmons jumping all over them this year, etc. Like it's been even remember when Patrick Laine lipped off about them too. It's just like, oh man, like Columbus just getting speed bagged here. Like I want Columbus to do well. Loving the story.
You see, that's the problem.
Like, I'm behind it. I want it. Just like
agree.
The Islanders are becoming. One, you love it when a team becomes must-watch, like when Edmonton with McDavid and Draisaitl just started popping off. Or you just mentioned San Jose Sharks with Macklin Celebrini. That became must-watch. Stay up for the Sharks, you dummies in the East, and watch San Jose Sharks. It's going to be a lot of fun whether they win or lose. Like you become that level, but then you take the next step and you become really likable to other fan bases, and you become everybody's second favorite team.
Here's the problem with that theory. So you have Columbus, who's won nothing.
Yeah.
And you have the Islanders, who have this incredible nostalgia attached to them. Every single kid whose father had a Mike Bossy poster on his wall. Let me tell you about
Bob Nystrom.
Yeah, is going to come out of the woodwork and be excited about the Islanders' resurgence. We've said for years,
but that's good.
Just like the Boston Bruins, much like the Chicago Blackhawks, the Islanders have been the other latent fan base that will explode when they become a true cup contender. But the problem is, Jeff, Marek, is Buffalo.
Buffalo.
To quote Bill Simmons, did Buffalo market correct Columbus and New York Islanders? They did, because Buffalo has both of those aspects. They have the lovable losers thing. We haven't made the playoffs since, the Obama administration. And they have, much like the Islanders, sleeper cells around the country of Buffalo fans that are ready to flood the local bars and jump through flaming tables on their front lawns because the Sabres are once again playoff contenders. So as much as I love Columbus, as much as I will begrudgingly love the Islanders, my dad was an Islanders fan, I'm a Devils fan, I can't love the Islanders with all my heart. Everybody loves Buffalo. They're just so happy. And Buffalo plays fun too. Yeah. Like all of it. I think Buffalo is the de facto second favorite team in the NHL right now.
So much about the Buffalo Sabres, like whenever this thing with Buffalo is done this year, like wherever they get to in the playoffs, we will look back on the season, and one of the dates we're going to circle is that Sunday night game against the Tampa Bay Lightning and what happened there. Have you noticed, and again, we saw this, like we even saw this last night, with the Vancouver Canucks and the Los Angeles Kings, where you have like Zeev Boyum and Tom Willander like fighting at the end of the game. I have a theory over the past week and a half, 2 weeks here, that because you see it every single night, and this used to just be the bailiwick of the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. But if you notice, like every single night, ever since Radko Gudas hit Austin Matthews, and Maple Leafs players did their I'm waiting for the bus impression, or I'm doing elevator practice, or look at me pretending to be a statue, or someone give me scissors so I can cut these damn laces off my skates, and did nothing but watch, and then watch everyone around the NHL watch the criticism of the Maple Leafs and saw how they were derided by everybody for not doing anything, not lifting a finger. You know what happens every single night? When there's a big hit, everybody charges. And everybody gets into it. Once upon a time, that didn't happen. But the Gudas-Matthews thing became such a hot point that right now, it's almost as if the Maple Leafs shamed every other team into reacting like Tampa and Florida does, because that was the expectation of what Toronto should have done. And again, you saw it with Vancouver and Los Angeles again yesterday, like a minute and a half left. Kids are scrapping. Like, am I seeing something here that's not there? Or do you think that ever since Matthews Gudis, everyone has done? We saw this happen before, but like that Buffalo Tampa game, where every tiny little bit of aggression was met with everybody tossing down sticks and gloves.
There's two other factors at play. And you mentioned one of them, which is the Florida Panthers. And you make 3 straight Stanley Cup finals and you win twice, and you do it being the bully on the block. And it's a copycat league. I'm not saying that other teams are, actively trying to mimic the Panthers, but I think that mindset, players aren't dumb. They see what sells. They see what's working. And the mindset that the Panthers have, I think, is something that if you want to be a champion, that maybe in the back of your mind you've adopted. The other thing is, we're a fighting league, man. 4 nations. I think. I mean, I haven't
that's another
seen the
part
hard
of it.
numbers
Yeah,
on.
that's
yeah. I haven't seen the hard numbers on it, but it feels like informally that fighting's probably back up again. So there's something in the air, but maybe the Leafs Gudis situation was an accelerant for it.
I will not disagree with that whatsoever. First of all,
okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think it's a bad thing at all for the NHL. Not at all. I know people may look at it and go like, oh, look at this empty calorie nonsense. The one thing that I do wonder about, and I've been talking a lot about this to people, and Paul Stewart was the only referee who I believe used to do this. Because we see a lot of scrums in the NHL. There's a lot of everyone's getting together here, everyone's grabbing on. But what Paul Stewart used to do when he was, and again, like when Paul played, he was tough and he fought everybody. There's one game where he fought 3 Quebec Nordiques like in the first period. Paul was tough. What he used to do is when there was scrums, he would pull the linesman out and it'd say, if you're going to fight, fight. But there's a lot of fake tough guys here right now, so I'm pulling the linesman out. I go, boys, get out. We're going to see who wants to fight.
Yeah.
And everybody would calm down. Do you think we'd get rid of the phony tough guys if linesmen didn't go in?
If no one was holding them back, and yeah. I'll say this: I think a little bit of fighting goes a long way in the NHL. As I've often said, I've never been at a game and see somebody turn around and go to the concession stand during a fight. Okay, a little bit of fighting is something that we can all agree adds a little spice to the chili, if you will. What the NHL has done, and what I hope it continues to do, is it's gotten rid of the clown shit. I think the clown shit is the stuff that we don't really want to see.
The NHL didn't.
But they have
that, though. No, but with
the last 5 minutes of the game rule and things like that. Absolutely, they did.
But the NHL. I mean, I guess they did, and it started with the Shanahan Summit coming out of the 0405.
Yeah, they helped foster it for sure.
But they didn't deliberately get the dancing bears out, but because those guys skated their way out of the NHL. They couldn't keep up. You couldn't afford to have. But it's not the NHL said Rick Zavanin's like there's no room for you in here, and Matt Johnson.
I was talking about reasons to. I was talking about reasons to fight. There are always, even as folks that have been watching this game for as long as we have, there are always going to be fights that you see that we're just like, really, come on, the egregious fight, the clown fight. I'm not talking about enforcers, because you're absolutely right. Part of the reason why fighting has gotten down to acceptable levels is because the game is super fast, and the salary cap being what it is, and all of these factors combine to make it impossible for there to be fourth liners that can't hang anymore. Yeah. But I'm talking about the fights that even as hockey fans were just like, this is a bit much. And we almost got there with Four Nations. The third fight in Four Nations was very close to being the tipping point.
Parayko JT Miller, that one?
Yeah, if there
Did
was
you have
a
that
fourth
sense about
fight,
that
it
one?
would have been but don't you agree? The third one was just kind of okay, we get the point. If there's a fourth, I'm probably not going to like it, right?
Remember Jack Handy, Deep Thoughts? Saturday Night
Yeah,
Live.
for SNL, sure. Absolutely.
My favorite one winks at what you're talking about now. No one like this. If you're a clown and you have a dog in your act and you dress the dog up like a clown, people will say, that's too much. That's what I think of. Or it's like,
Right.
okay,
Exactly.
we're okay with the third, but the fourth, that would be
Yeah, the fourth
the
would have
clown
been
with
too
the
much.
dog dressed up like the clown.
Because the fourth is you're
that would
just
be
like,
too
man,
much.
I'm kind of here for this hockey rivalry that we love so much, and we get the point. We were going to talk about the draft lottery. So, Shams Charania of ESPN reported out some changes that the NBA is making for its inherent tanking problem. By the way, where are you on tanking? Do you agree with me that you don't give a shit that people think it's a problem?
I'd prefer that it wasn't a thing, but again, like I went through, and you did too, like the era of the Pittsburgh Penguins completely tanking with the New Jersey Devils. Your team didn't, and they ended up with Mario Lemieux, and your team got Kirk Muller.
That's right. Our former
really
captain.
good player, not Mario Lemieux.
Not Mario Lemieux at all.
Not
Imagine
Mario
what would have happened if those roles were reversed. But no, I'm kind of in the same place with tanking as I am with the 3-on-3. Like I love the 3-on-3. That being said, I'm completely fine if you want to add a rule or two to make it even more exciting than it is. I'm fine with tanking. That being said, yeah, I don't necessarily need a team to win the lottery twice in like a 5 years, 3 times in a 5 year span. Like that's something that I can agree with, and we should probably not do. Now, the reason I bring up the NBA stuff is there's one aspect of the 3 plans that the NBA is looking at that I found really fascinating, which is one of the plans involves 22 teams being in the lottery. That seems like a lot. The bottom 10 teams, the 8 that qualify for the play-in tournament, the 4 playoff teams that lose in the first round, they're all in the lottery, but they'll be ranked according to their record across two seasons. Now, this is important. Yeah. Weighting teams by their record across the prior 2 seasons is how the WNBA weighs its lottery system. And I thought this was an interesting fix. We did it for the Crosby draft because we had to.
Yes,
we waited we waited a couple of different seasons to figure out those lottery odds. But I've never really heard a lot of desire amongst the NHL let's fix the draft lottery people to take multiple seasons into account. I thought this was an interesting idea. What did you think of it?
Oh, they take multiple seasons into account when it comes to quote unquote winning the draft lottery in the NHL.
Right, and how often you can do it.
They do that. I'll tell you what, like I'll just spill it out here. We have a salary cap, and I've always felt that the presence of the salary cap allows us to do things like get rid of lottery odds and just make every single team with having to have the potential to win the draft lottery. Because all you're doing is you're managing your budget and you're managing your finances. That's all you have. And you will have every single fan base interested in your draft lottery, which is a moment. Again, we talk about tentpole moments so much around it becomes a tentpole moment for everybody in the NHL. Like that Crosby draft, and I mean, listen, mind you, part of it was it's Sidney Crosby, and you're getting a future Hall of Famer, and everybody knew it. But I don't know. I just look at every single team and say, like, everyone's got the same amount of money to work with, and you allocate your resources as you see fit as a team. Why do we need a weighted lottery? Why not have 32 teams with the exact same lottery odds? Unless you're a socialist.
Oh, you see, that's... You know what? Just why? Because they elected Montgomery, my mayor. Now I'm a socialist. Look, I'll be a socialist when it comes to the draft lottery because I truly believe in the idea of using that as a function to help teams that are terrible. And I know there's
teams that have got themselves into they've mismanaged and played themselves into a place where you need support from the entire NHL to get you out of the hole that you dug yourself into.
Or they're a victim of their success and they have to eventually say goodbye to really good players. I mean, like if the Washington Capitals are deeper into the lottery post Ovechkin. Like that's just how it works. There's a cycle to these things. Like the San Jose Sharks, at one point in the last, like 10 years ago, were a cup contender. Now they're not because all the guys got old or got hurt. It just happens. Does that mean they shouldn't have a better shot at Macklin Celebrini than the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Hang on a second here. Now, this is very true for the very top of the draft. Like the guys that are going to walk in right away. Your Macklin Celebrinis, your Connor Bedard, your Matthew Schaefer. The guys are going to walk in right away. The problem in the conversation itself is we leave out a massive key piece here. We just think that giving people a first overall pick or second overall pick or best odds to draft high is doing them a favor. We think, okay, here you go. You're going to get Macklin Celebrini. You're getting what everybody forgets is a major piece in between getting drafted and making it to the NHL, and that's the development piece. And that is where teams like the Tampa Bay Lightning continue to succeed.
Yeah.
We think that just by handing someone a lottery pick at the high end after a miserable season is going to somehow bring them back to a parity and then maybe a championship, and just leave out the middle piece, which is probably in a lot of ways, because not everybody gets a first overall pick, obviously, in a lot of ways, that development piece is more important than the pick itself. It's what you do with these players, how you handle these players, how quickly you get them into the NHL, how you take sending them back to junior for another year, or more development time in the National Hockey League, another year in college. All these things that go into developing a player, we just ignore and just say, "Oh yeah, hand them a high pick. Hand them a high pick."
Well, but doesn't the market dictate that you can't do that? Like, I'm sure the Chicago Blackhawks would love if Connor Bedard could hold the clipboard for a season, but the bottom line is that the Chicago Blackhawks need to fill their building. The San Jose Sharks need to fill their building. The Sharks haven't had big crowds in a decade until Macklin Celebrini showed up. I mean, there's a certain again capitalistic reason why you rush these guys into the NHL, and it's because you can't afford to be patient with them, because you need them to be the poster on the side of the arena.
That's a decision. That's a decision you make, though. Now, for the guys you're talking about, like, yeah, they're ready for the National Hockey League, but that's not true of everybody. That's not even close to true about everybody.
But listen, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say no, but like in this era,
yeah,
is it truer? I mean, Matthew Schaefer just walked in and he's gonna get Norris votes.
Okay, how's
like Celebrini walked in?
Okay, so how's
Artem
Levshunov, second overall draft
pick? Not great,
right?
But okay, but like a lot of these guys have been able to walk right in and be difference makers.
Some have, and I think for those guys, fine. For those guys, absolutely.
I think back in the day, an 18-year-old gets eaten up and chewed out because it's a more physical league. It's a different style of hockey. I think the NHL has gotten to a place where an 18-year-old can walk in and be a difference maker more than any other era in the history of the league.
There's not even a counter argument to that. 100% true. 100%
I always like
true,
when you
and
say
that is
about
now.
things I say.
No, but that is because like the premium now is on skating, and everybody coming into hockey now. And again, like I've made the point going back to the old program, the old MvsW. Like the one thing, and Connor McDavid's group was, I think, the first. Like his cohort was the first. After the lockout, a lot of people had to change the way they played. Everyone in the NHL, the American League, all the way down, had to change the way they played. So you grew up with playing one way, and then halfway through to 3/4 of the way through it, you have to change to adapt to the new way the game is going to be played. The McDavid group was the first one that just grew up with that rules package, that just grew up with this is how we play. And that's why Connor McDavid was the best of that bunch. Are we going to see another Connor McDavid? Absolutely we are. He was just the first one with the new way to play the game in his hip pocket. But there's going to be more. When the accent is on skating, it is always going to favor, the NHL is always going to favor younger legs. Always.
Let me go back to your point though. Like, do you honestly think that a team that's been at the top of the league for like the last 4 seasons should have as equal a shot as a franchise in the bottom of the abyss at a top talent?
If you're looking to get rid of tanking, yes. There's like all of this is under the umbrella of getting rid of tanking. If you want to get rid of tanking, have everyone has the exact same opportunity to draft first overall, exact same odds. There's no point. There's no incentive to tank whatsoever. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You will have, whether you're the Vancouver Canucks or you're the Colorado Avalanche, you will have the same lottery odds. There. No motivation to tank.
But then how do those shit teams get good?
They develop players.
But they won't have the top tier players to develop. They won't have the best of the best. Every single turnaround in this league is predicated on having elite talent that you acquire through the draft.
Elite talent that you acquire from the draft and then develop in your system. That was my whole point. Is we leave out the development piece out of all of this. Again, like go look at how many high picks. Now, Victor Hedman is number one. Andrei Vasilevsky was also a former first round pick too. But remind me where Braden Point was selected. Remind me where Nikita Kucherov was selected. Like I'm looking at, remind me, where JJ Mosier and Darren Radish and all like the stars of the Tampa Bay Lightning who might win the Stanley Cup this year. Remind me where they were chosen. Their development piece is so good that Tampa goes in the draft and says, I don't care where we pick. We're going to find players and we're going to develop them better than anybody else.
I mean, you could throw Dallas in there too. I mean,
Dallas is another great one. Fourth
overall or fifth overall?
That was Nico Hischier, Nolan Patrick.
He was in that neighborhood.
Yeah,
maybe he was third through fifth.
But
third.
Like that's, he was the fourth, third, and then Cale Makar was fourth. Yeah.
Where was Jason Robertson? Where did he go? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Jason Robertson was second round early.
Yeah. So you think about all those guys. Your Jason Robertsons, your Wyatt Johnstons,
Heiskanen, Ottinger, and then the second round they picked up Jason Robertson.
Pretty good draft.
Joe McDonnell, baby. Joe McDonnell, Dallas Stars, scouting genius.
But Dallas is another team that I think has been A, patient with their prospects, and B, really knows how to develop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. You want to get rid of tanking? Everyone's got the same lottery odds. And everyone's engaged in lottery day because everyone's got skin in the game.
I hate that. No. Help those who need help. Like help, like when
help the wealthy. We judge our society by how we help the wealthy. That's the lesson that I've learned reading the news the last couple of years. That's how you do it, right?
It's a trickle down, you see.
We judge our society by how wealthy the rich are, not by how we help.
If we give Colorado Gavin McKenna, it'll eventually trickle down to Vancouver, the success, right? Is that the way it works?
Because he'll visit and he'll sell out.
Right. And he'll sell tickets. Exactly. That's exactly right.
All right, let's do our game show. I'm in a good mood now. What's this?
Oh, you want to do the game show right now?
Do we have anything else that we're leaving? Right. Zach, keep us on track. Are we leaving anything on the table here?
Oh, of course you are. But we could do the game show and then fit everything in right after it. It's a quick one for all the people in the chat who hate my game shows. And it ties into somebody I just mentioned, Gavin McKenna, who, of course, is in the NCAA. It is the NCAA tournament going on right now in the United States, leading to the Frozen Four. And what I've cooked up for Marek on Game Show Friday is a little game called Hobey Trophy Cup. Hobey Trophy Cup. Now, I'm going to name a player, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
And you're going to tell me whether this player won the Hobey Baker Award for top NCAA Division I men's player, won a national championship in the NCAA with his college, and won the Stanley Cup in the National Hockey League. So this player will have had to have won the Hobey Baker, won a national championship, and won the Stanley Cup in his career.
Can I call Nate? Can I get a lifeline? And can that lifeline be Nate Ewell?
Nate Ewell? Well, Nate Ewell would certainly know the answers.
Nate Ewell should be playing this, not me.
Shout out Nate Ewell, former Washington Capitals PR maven, who then went to College Hockey Inc. Was it? I want to say
yes,
correct, and then also went to Vegas, right? Okay,
so
there you go. Nate. Did this player win the Hobey Baker, win the national title, and win the Stanley Cup? The first name for you is Neil Broten. Neil Broten, Miracle on Ice player for the United States as well.
Was he the first American to get 100 points in a season? Was Neil Broten the first American to get 100 points? Okay. So did he win all three, or did he win one or two?
Did he win all three? Did he win all three? We're looking for people that won the Hobey Baker, won a national title, and won the Stanley Cup in their career.
Oh, God. My real answer is I don't know. I'm going to say one. He won a national championship.
So you're going to say that he did win all three. It's a yes.
Oh, is it?
Or
So it has to be all three?
It has to be all three.
Then I'm going to say
You're
yes.
like me with these rules.
Then I'm going to say yes.
The answer is yes. Neil Broten won the Hobey Baker in 1981, the first player to ever win the Hobey Baker. He won a national title with the Golden Gophers in 1979, and he, of course, won the Stanley Cup with the 1995 New Jersey Devils. Although many people say it's only half a cup because it wasn't a shortened season, but I say it's a full cup.
Half a cup.
All right. So you're
was he first American to 100 points? Zach, can you check that?
Asking me these things?
I don't know. When I think Neil Broten, I got that in my head. I got that in my stupid head.
When I think of Neil Broten, I think of the Broten family, including Aaron Broten, another former Devil. All right. Player number 2, TJ Oshie, TJ Sochi, Timothy Jiminy Oshie. Did he win the Hobey Baker, a national title, and the Stanley Cup, Jeff Marek?
Well, he won a cup with the Caps.
It's true. I'll give you that one.
So the answer is yes.
The answer is no. TJ Oshie did not win the Hobey Baker, and TJ Oshie at North Dakota did not win a national title. So
Neil Broten,
you are
by the
1
way,
for 2.
Oh, hang on. Neil Broten, yes.
Was the first American-born player to record a 100-point season in the NHL. It happened in the
thank God.
1985-86 season with the Minnesota North
solved that
Stars.
So I just won. I just won Game Show Friday. Based on a question I just made up myself.
The bonus points. Okay, here we go. Player number 3, Chris Drury.
Little League World Series. Little League World Series.
Little League World Series.
Okay, Drury.
National title and a Stanley Cup.
So Drury is one of the BU Mafia. Hobey Baker. Stanley Cup with Colorado. So I'm going to say yes. I'll go yes again.
That is correct. Chris Drury won the Hobey in 1998. He won the national title with Boston University in 95, and he won the Stanley Cup with Colorado in 2001. Exit 16W. A big year for the Colorado Avalanche, and giving both Chris Drury and Ray Bourque the Stanley Cup that year. Ray Bourque! It's my Gary Thorne impression.
It's good.
All right, player 4. You are now 2 for 3. Player 4, Matt Carle.
Oh, wow.
Did Matt Carle win the Hobey Baker, a national title, and a Stanley Cup? Did he win all 3? Matt Carle, defenseman Matt Carle.
He won a cup with Tampa. I'm going to say no.
Man, you are 3 for 4. You are killing it. Matt Carle won the Hobey Baker in 2016, won a national titles in 14 and 15 with Denver, but never won the Stanley Cup. He had 127 playoff games. He was with the pre-Stanley Cup Tampa Bay Lightning in the John Cooper years. So there you go, 3 for 4.
And one day his brother will be a highly paid coach in the NHL.
One day his brother is going to break the bank. His brother, of course, being the current coach of Denver. Player number 5, Jim Montgomery, current head coach of the St. Louis Blues. And by the way, he's on a 5-year contract, I think.
Did he get 5 from the Blues? Yeah.
With the Blues? I think he might be a 5-year deal. That's a hell of a thing. Did Jim Montgomery win the Hobey Baker, a national title, and a Stanley Cup?
No. Did not.
You are 4 for 5. Jim Montgomery never won the Hobey Baker. He won a national title with Maine in 1993, but never won the Stanley Cup. In fact, Marek, he only has 8 career playoff games.
Was Paul Correa on that team? Is that the Correa team, Blackbears team?
Right. Damn right he was.
Man, I love Paul Correa.
All right, the final name in the Hobey Trophy Cup game for Game Show Friday is Jordan Leopold, defenseman Jordan Leopold.
wow,
Did he win a Hobey Baker, a national title, and a Stanley Cup? Oh, you did your Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's a name I've not heard in quite a long time.
No.
Jordan Leopold. You say no.
I'm saying no.
He won the Hobey Baker in 2002. He also won a national title with Minnesota in 2002. But the closest he ever came to winning the cup was with Calgary in 2004.
Oh, I was going to say Anaheim. Was he on that Anaheim team that went to the final against the Devils?
He might have been. But anyway, Jordan Leopold, 80 playoff games. The longest run he had, I think the longest run he had was with Calgary. So I don't think he was on the Anaheim team. No cup. So there you go. You went 5 for 6. One of your best Game Show Friday
college
showings
hockey
of all
genius.
time.
I don't need
in the Hobey Trophy Cup game. Very impressive. Very impressive.
And none of those were just guesses. Just so you know, I knew all of them. My knowledge of college hockey
had it unlocked.
That rich.
It's a very impressive show.
That deep. Okay. Do you have a thought, by the way, on what we saw between Washington and Utah yesterday? And not just the Tom Wilson hit, but like Ovechkin just like popping off for a hat trick.
I mean, that's fun, right? I don't know how this is all going for Ovi towards the end. I still think they don't know completely, but probably have an inkling that we could be nearing the end. So to see him pop off like that is a wonderful thing. It truly is. It's one of those, like, we got to start really cherishing these moments.
Yeah.
As Ovi nears the twilight. The Tom Wilson thing, obviously for me, we had 2 instances last night of on-camera taunting that will live on beyond those games. Mm-hmm. Tom Wilson doing the turtle motion to Brandon Tanev, and of course Darnell Nurse doing air kisses to the Vegas bench as he leaves the ice, which I thought was not to like get off the Caps Utah thing too quickly, because I know you want to talk about McBain, but like the Vegas Oilers game last night reminded me of the Lightning Buffalo game of Vegas really trying to throw their left hook.
Oh yeah,
and Edmonton taking it, knowing that there's probably a playoff series between those two teams in the offering, and that was a really good win for the Oilers last night. But what are your thoughts on Wilson McBain?
I mean, it's one of those. It's one of those you have to know. Like if you're Jack McBain, you have to know. It's one of those you have to know he's on the ice. Could Tom Wilson have pulled up, missed the hit? Yeah, but it's Tom Wilson. It's Tom Wilson. Hang on a second. Leopold was drafted by the Montreal.
Yeah, breaking Jordan Leopold news.
Breaking Jordan Leopold news. No, that's one of those you have to know who's out there. And when Tom Wilson is out there, you have to know that the potential for, as we're watching on YouTube here, for that to happen could happen. Like it's a shoulder check one way, and then man, I had TJ Oshie on the Lifers pod a few weeks ago, and we were talking about Tom Wilson
fun.
And the Logan Stankoven hit, and his point was so many young players just swivel their head and don't protect themselves with their shoulder. They just turn into a blind spot. And I thought Oshie was so strong on this because he sort of broke down Stankoven coming around the net, instead of just like whipping his head around fast, because that puts himself in a really terrible position, and at that moment was still eligible to be hit. He said it's fast, and you see this with the Jack McBain hit too. He said what guys don't do now is they don't protect themselves with their shoulders when they're turning their heads. And Zach, if you can show that hit once again, watch Jack McBain's head. Does he ever shoulder check to his left? Or does he only shoulder check to his right where the puck is going to go? He said so many guys just, if you're gonna swing to a blind spot, and that is a blind spot there by Jack McBain, you have to be protecting yourself with your shoulder. Watch his shoulder, drop, opens up, and bam.
Boom.
Tom Wilson is there. By the way, were you surprised to find out that's the most penalty minutes Tom Wilson ever had in a game? Did you see that? It was a 21. It's the most he's ever had in a game was last night.
I mean,
21's a lot. 21 is a lot.
He would get kicked out, though. The most you can get for getting kicked out is 10, right? So, it makes sense. Most of the time, it's going to be maybe 17 at the most. Two roughing, 5-minute major game misconduct. We did actually have breaking Jordan Leopold news, by the way. Drafted by the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim in 1999, but was traded to Calgary before ever playing a game for Anaheim. So he was not on the Ducks team.
On the Ducks team
that lost the Devils.
See, that's my brain. It's been a long life. It's been a long life, Greg.
No, it was a classic Tom Wilson trucking, and a good reminder of why he is the guy that he is. I don't know. It's fine. I don't. I mean, there's no issue with the hit, right?
There's not going to be any supplemental. I have not heard of.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No.
I was thought. The Capitals thing I caught on replays because I was watching the hell out of Ottawa, Pittsburgh last night, and then Vegas and Edmonton last night. Those were the two games.
The Who Needs Crosby game, we got Kindle.
Yeah, or Malkin because he didn't play either.
Yeah.
The 3-on-3 overtime between Ottawa and Pittsburgh last night was one of my favorite things of the season. It was so much fun. It was Tim Stützle must have had 105 chances in that overtime. Erik Karlsson again looking like someone dunked him into the Ra's al Ghul Lazarus pit because he looks like he's 23 again with the way he's playing this season. It's what a fun game. Again, playoff implications, all of it. It's just so fun to watch that game last night.
I can recall the first year of the 3-on-3. The Ottawa Senators consistently had the best. There was one Ottawa-Detroit game in the first year of 3-on-3, which should be held up. And actually, there was another. There was a Buffalo, Minnesota, a few years ago that should be held up as this is the example of how you want 3-on-3. But I just remember, and I don't know whether it was just I can't remember even who the coaching staff was for the Ottawa Senators at that point, but it was just okay, 3-on-3. I don't know what to do. You guys just go out and play. And the Ottawa Senators in that first season of the 3-on-3, every single time Ottawa went to the 3-on-3, it was must watch because it was just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. It was what 3-on-3 was supposed to be until the coaches got their hooks into it, and then it just became endless neutral zone regroups, which is what we see now. But Ottawa, whenever I think of the 3-on-3, I always think, but man, Ottawa consistently. If you think of one team, of course, Edmonton has always been fun to watch because of Connor and Leon. There was that stretch where Aho and Natchez were must-watch 3-on-3. They're amazing. But Ottawa's always had bangers, man. Going back to the beginning of 3-on-3, Ottawa Senators have always nailed it. And again,
we throw a little love.
What do you got?
We throw a little love to Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt too. I think that was a duo that was always a bit must see. But so Sid leaves the game with a lower body injury. We were looking at the Cousins hit during the game.
Is that the one that's the one, right? But the thing is,
what is he hurt on that if it's a lower body injury? I'm kind of
I don't know, but
about.
Whenever it's just a hit along the board, and his right shoulder is turned. So he's not getting it right on the shoulder. He's getting it kind of on the back as well. I don't know.
Maybe it's his hip?
I guess. I don't know. We're all playing, amateur doctors here. Those are the ones.
I don't want to get into another Darren Drager situation here.
Those are. I'm not going to diagnose here from my basement, but those are the ones that always bug me. Not bug me. Those are the ones that always worry me. The hits that don't look like anything. And then the player leaves. Yeah. Okay, it's got to be bad because it can't be something specifically from that hit. It's got to be an aggravation of something that's already been there, and bam, that one tiny little. It was barely a hit.
Look,
led to Crosby.
My first thought when he went out, and I'm not trying to put this in the world, and I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he'll come back and play. Could you imagine if after all this? The Penguins made the playoffs, but Sid was too hurt to appear.
Sid wasn't there?
Them.
I know. Oh, God.
Could you imagine?
No.
Come on. What is this nonsense? The hockey gods. I curse you. I curse your existence to do that.
One of my
I don't think
favorite-
it'll happen, but I'm just saying. That was my first thought last night.
Hang on, I'm gonna find out the actor.
Oh, he's Hollywood Jeff Merrick over here, scrolling
Yes.
through IMDb to find out who he's talking about.
Yes. So one of my favorite episodes of the Twilight Zone was Time Enough at Last.
Mm-hmm.
Where
You mean Burgess Meredith? Is that who you're looking for?
No, I don't think he was the actor in that one. It's oh God, who was it? Anyway,
Are you talking about the glasses?
Yeah, the glasses.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
Burgess Meredith.
Is that Burgess Meredith?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so the Penguin.
Dude, I binge the Twilight Zone marathon every New Year's. Come on.
Oh, no way. Okay, I didn't know
here.
that. That's like one of my favorite ones,
Yeah.
where he just wants to read books, and finally there's like a nuclear war, and everyone's dead, and it's just him and books, and he can just read books for the rest of his life, and he breaks his glasses. That would be the Penguins make
That would be Crosby not being in the playoffs.
the playoffs. The Penguins make the playoffs, and Crosby can't play. That would be
that's
time
really
enough
funny.
at last with the Twilight Zone.
Time enough
Still-
at last. Yeah,
Still the best show
Twilight
of all
Zone.
time. Still the best show of all time.
I have a poster on my wall in my office of The Invaders, which is my favorite episode, where the woman is in the farmhouse and she's being attacked by small aliens, and then the aliens turned out not to be aliens at all. So it's good stuff. I love the Twilight Zone.
The Monsters Who Do on Maple Street. That's another great one.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Penguins are pretty solid. I saw the playoff potential pairings this morning on ESPN, and like, all due respect to the Senators, who I know are on the outside looking in right now, but you could kind of freeze frame it, and I would be pretty happy with the matchups currently. Like, you get me Pittsburgh and the Blue Jackets, who we've talked about as the
That should be
the matchup that we really want to see.
That should be the rival.
But like the current matchups in the East are Sabres, Bruins, absolutely.
Adams.
Lightning, Montreal, Hurricanes, Islanders, and again, if you wanted to slot in the Senators there, I'm fine with that too. And then Pittsburgh and Columbus. Notice I haven't said Detroit. I'm kind of down on Detroit. I don't know if they are of a playoff quality at the end of the day, Merrick. What do you think about that?
I know. I don't think so. I don't think that Yzerman did enough. I mentioned this on the show yesterday because Berkey and I did this thing about how safe is Yzerman if it's another year of futility.
And Berkey was like,
I don't know.
He's fine.
He shouldn't. He won't. He's fine. They're
fine.
trending up.
So you want to hear the great line that I was told by someone? I got to be sensitive about how I say this. In the wings orbit.
Okay.
The great line that coming back. So I'm like, this is like 7 years. You're like Steve in trouble, and the line that came back was, "Chris is not Mike. Chris Ilitch is not Mike Ilitch," which means he's fine. Mike would have punted, but Chris, in some ways, I think kind of looks at Yzerman like Mike would have been like, dust. Move along.
Yeah, Chris
Move
is like
along.
Uncle Steve stays as long as he wants. Mike would have been like,
older brother
we haven't
Steve,
had a damn playoff game in this building since we built it.
I know. We had give me 2 games. I don't care if you go in the first. I want 2 games here. We got to get playoff fans in here. I know, but the line was, Chris is not Mike.
What was the other thing on the rundown that we had to hit before we go? Because I think I'm trying to make this a tradition of Marek and Wyshynski where we actually hit everything on the rundown.
Habs stay hot. Schaefer dominance. We talked about Schaefer. Habs stay hot. You got a thought on? By the way, I mentioned this yesterday. Do you see the podcast where Carey Price said that Jacob Fowler reminded him of him?
No, I didn't see that, but that must have been gone viral in Montreal.
Julie Petrie and Kat Toffoli's podcast. He was asked, is there anyone in the NHL that reminds you of you? And I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to compliment the Montreal goaltender. Instead, just like heaped on like tons of pressure on the kid. Oh yeah, Jacob Fowler. To which I said, like, the ghost of Maurice Richard has come back to talk about how Cole Caulfield is the next Rocket in the NHL.
The Habs are like Buffalo, and they're like Anaheim for me, where there are 3 teams that have thrived offensively this year, and there are 3 teams for whom I don't quite know what their playoff play looks like. And by that I mean when the Lightning get it cranked up and their forecheck is going and they're buzzing around and Demidov is in his own zone, what does that look like in the playoffs? Because I think the Habs are a very exciting team with a lot of potential, but I don't love them defensively much in the same way I don't love the Ducks defensively.
Yep. Same.
And so that's my concern right now. And again, this is all part of a larger education for these teams. They all have to kind of learn how to play. Maybe Buffalo doesn't, if they're in fact the St. Louis Blues of this season, where they're just like locked in and there's no education needed, and they're just going to run through the East to the Cup. Who knows? But
Would be fun.
in the case of Montreal, in the case of Anaheim, I feel like it's a continuing education on how you need to play in the playoffs in order to win. And I think that makes the Lightning a really interesting foil for them if that's who they end up playing, because obviously the Lightning had to go through that same education themselves back in the day under John Cooper to figure out how to play to win, because they liked to play a certain style.
Do you remember how Tampa? Do you remember what Tampa had to get out of their game? There was one thing specifically Tampa had to get out of their game, and that was
the first round of Columbus.
Well, that really didn't go after that great first period. Cruise control here. They're leaving in Bob. Okay. 4 straight.
Yeah.
There's one thing that Tampa would always do, and they completely got it. It's always been it'll always be a great question for John Cooper. How did you get this out of their game? And that was Tampa would always make that one extra pass. How many times did we watch the Tampa Bay Lightning and it was like, okay, boom, 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 and the shot, oh no, that's going to be a pass too, and the play dissolves. Like they were a team that really knew that they were good and really knew that they were skilled and wanted to show it off on every single play. Watch how many pretty passes we can make before we shoot this thing. And it killed them. It was like, it was the one team where the thing that made them the strongest turned out to be their Achilles. And that was they were in love with their own skill and they couldn't get out of their own way. And somehow, and maybe it was just getting embarrassed by Columbus, that finally, okay, you guys want to shoot now? You want to stop with the 18 passes before we shoot this thing? But they would always do that. I don't know that Montreal is not Tampa.
They're not
respect.
like they're not that.
They're not that. So like Tampa was that. I don't know if there is an equivalent right now in the NHL to Tampa, the team in love with their own skill, wanting to show it off every single shift.
What gives you pause about Montreal, or maybe nothing does? Maybe you think they're
blue line does. I still the question marks in net still. Like again, like playoffs are different, man. Like listen, I love and how can you not love Cole Caulfield? What is he up to now? 44? 44 goals for Cole Caulfield. It's amazing. It's fantastic. How's that in the playoffs? How's he in the playoffs?
By the way,
can he get that shot? The thing is, like, can he get that shot off when he doesn't have the same time and space that he does in the regular season? That's the question.
That's the question for any goal scorer. Do you know who's 5th in the league right now in goals per game, by the way? Zach Hyman. 30 goals in 54 games for Zach Hyman. That's a run. That's a run. And it's not all McDavid. Like the goal he scored last night was brilliant. It was his individual effort. He lifted McNabb's stick, stole the puck, put it past Aiden Hill. Like, he's a special player.
He's an honest
At least
hockey
could use someone like that.
I was waiting for that one. Like maybe the Leafs would pay him that extra $500,000 he was looking for and not have a deal fall apart.
Okay, it's 2:00. Let's end the show.
There's Zach. By the way, you know who? Like one of the people, and his name popped up in Friedman's 32 piece today online. One of the people, maybe the main person, who was most involved in getting Zach Hyman to Edmonton, Bill Scott, who's the assistant general manager of the Oilers. He's in the mix for the Nashville job.
Did you see who else might be in the mix? Peter Chiarelli?
Peter Chiarelli, yep.
I mean,
I think that so here's what I was told about Nashville. Nashville has a new owner, and as much as Barry Trotz is a veteran coach and been around, he's still a sort of inexperienced general manager, but the ownership is new, so they are going to interview 1 million people. This is going to be one of these, like, okay, we've been around the block. We know the landscape, blah, 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 blah. We're just going to interview like 2 or 3 guys. I'm told Nashville is going to interview like this. The interviewing process for Nashville is going to be lengthy and long. Like, a lot of people are going to be going.
All right.
Well, it is the weekend. Every Friday have 2 Saturdays, Greg. We've said that one before.
I would be astonished if they don't hire somebody with previous general managing experience after the Barry Trotz situation.
Kevin Adams, what? What did you say about Kevin Adams? What?
Tom
Tom Fitzgerald?
Tom Fitzgerald, who?
First captain of the Nashville Predators. What?
That's right. That's right, baby. There's history there.
Yeah, I could see that too. Okay, big things for you from the weekend? Anything?
Oh yeah, well, as we should mention, I'm not going to be around next week to do the show. I am taking my eldest to Disney World. Part of the perks of working for ESPN is that we're part of the Disney family.
How much of a discount do you get?
For
free?
You get for free. I'll put work for Disney, man. You can get in for free.
Wow, free
discounts on stuff
99
inside the park.
The media price.
Again, this is all
$3.99.
This is all baked into the contract, my friend. It's like a no trade clause. It's like you're gonna give up a little bit to get the no trade clause. You give up a little bit to get the Disney tickets.
Awesome.
No, it's really one of the coolest things about working there is the fact that you can get into the parks for free.
That's awesome.
We probably abused that a little bit more when we were in California. Going to Disneyland, getting to Disney World's a little bit tough. Not looking forward to spring break crowds down there, but it's the only time I can go and take my kid, and we're excited to go.
I think that's fantastic. Have a great time. How long are you going for? You go for the whole week? How long can you handle
Go for a couple days. Go for like 4 days. And
you can do 4
we're gonna
days
keep
there?
it cash. Like the day that we know we have to go to a park is on Tuesday at the Magic Kingdom because you have to actually make reservations and do all this like fancy shit to because it's the busiest park. But taking the oldest kid, the other two kids are too young.
Okay.
Like Iris is just over 2. She doesn't really understand Disney, and then like Graham's a nugget. So what is he going to do except have to be watched while one of us can't go on a roller coaster?
Yep.
So I'll take Viv, and we'll have some fun down there.
You can have a ball. Have a great time, buddy. We'll check you out in like a week and a half. You be good. All right, man. Be good. Have fun. Greg Wyshynski, ESPN, ringleader here for Game Show Fridays, ESPN and ESPN.com. Anything there for you, young Jedi Zach? I'm not used to seeing you. Oh, you got the Kit hat up there already, eh? You got the Kitcheners and the Bulldog. Look at you. No, that's good. You see a little background. Is that a smelling salt on your... Is that smelling salts over your left shoulder there?
It is. And it's a smelling salts and one of those Funko Pops of me. My sister's got it for me. It's
No way. You got Duffy's book over your right shoulder. Look at you.
Yeah, that's just to like sell to people that I read. I can't read.
You think I read all these books? Like seriously, bud.
Yeah, it makes me look smarter. There's a book behind you and not just smelling salts and hats. Well, this
I
guy's
just put up like
intelligent.
tweets. That's all I read now. I just put those up
Yeah,
behind me,
pretty
not
much.
books. Here's a bunch of tweets I've read, not books that I've read. So
Here's what I've
that's not
read
a
in
bad
the
idea,
last
actually.
5
Here's a book of
years.
tweets.
Yeah.
That's what There's a book of all the tweets that I've read, going back to like when did I sign up on Twitter? 2009. Anyhow, anything from today's conversations that interest you particularly, or was that just like an hour of nonsense?
No, that's never an hour of nonsense. Never.
It
Amazing
is.
show. The draft lottery stuff, I don't have a problem, but I will say the one distinguishment that I would make between the NHL draft lottery and the NBA draft lottery is that I don't feel like the product in the NHL drops off as much as it does in the NBA when the tanking situation takes place. Like,
Okay.
I've had to stop watching the NBA. I used to be a much bigger fan of the NBA, and over the last probably 3 to 5 years, my interest level in it has just gone off the rails or off the cliff because of how off the rails the tanking has gotten. Where on a nightly basis, like they are dressing guys, with all due respect, who have no business being in the NBA. In the NHL, could you look at a roster and be like, is this the best NHL roster I've ever seen put together? Probably not. But at the same time, it's far more competitive, where on any given night, those guys will still go out and make a night difficult for the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, the Minnesota Wild. Name your top team in the league.
Because you're just
And the
casual and you're going
product
to play, and these guys are all skilled, and things happen. It's hockey.
Right.
Frozen
And
water, rubber puck.
Nathan McKinnon can't be on the ice for 75, 80% of the game, whereas in the NBA, that's how that works out. So the product just drops off, and then you watch every night where these teams are just like, well, tonight, LeBron James and Luka Doncic, who are on the same team, they're just not going to play because we're trying to tank. And then they sit them for, the season. It doesn't happen to the same extent in the NHL, so I view it a little bit differently. I don't mind if people want to make modifications to it, but I don't see a need to be like, oh, this thing needs an overhaul. Now, I think what they did in changing it up where you can't how much winning you've done of the draft lottery affects the future, I think that's a good rule, but outside of that, I don't see much need to change it.
I'm going to dive into that piece as soon as we're off the air here, because I'm always interested in different ideas that people have to get rid of tanking in the NHL. But as long as there's still advantages for finishing last, any advantage, teams will take it.
Yeah,
teams will take it.
I don't have a problem with it, to be honest. I think it would be my counterpoint to you would just be to close on this would be not giving everybody equal odds, but giving everybody a chance. So the odds just go down progressively. Even if you win the Stanley Cup, you could win it, but it might be 1%. I like your idea. I think it's nuts.
No.
Let's say Colorado wins this year. They come out. I think that it should be a weighted scale, but everybody has a chance. That would be the meeting in the middle of your idea and keeping it the same. Because I think it would be fun if the Avs win and then they go to the draft lottery after the Stanley Cup and then they win. It's now we bring in Gavin McKenna to this team.
That's
and
how you embrace greatness. Do you want a great team's name scratched on the Stanley Cup, or just the best of a bunch of mediocre teams that are more similar than they are different? This used to be a league where you had great teams. We just mentioned the Islanders with Wish a second ago. Back and look at their four. Go look at the Habs. Go look at the Oilers. Go look at the Pittsburgh Penguins. Go look at those teams. Man, those names go on. Wow, what a team. And salary cap came in. Every year is a different team winning. And then teams who win, they have to get rid of their team, big part of their team, because they couldn't afford them because of the salary cap. I like when
the salary cap
great
is a different
teams on the
conversation
cup.
for me.
Great teams on
I
the cup.
hate it. I hate the salary cap, and I agree with you on that. The other thing too that got pointed out here in the chat by ST Draco 33 by doing what I was saying about giving everybody a chance, or even what you were saying, but more so in line with me, where it's weighted down to 32 and they still have a chance. It changes the calculus of trades.
That's true.
Because your
great point.
Value,
your first round pick.
Yeah, your first round pick still maintains a little bit more value.
Great point.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm.
Great point. Someone with that person, if that is indeed their real name, should be hosting this show now.
ST Draco 33.
The Sheik, starring ST Draco 33. Makes his or her debut on Monday, 1 o'clock Eastern. Stay tuned. Gonna change things around here on the power play here on the program. We got this new person hosting the show come Monday. All right. This segment, a presentation of, glad to have them back, Ninja Crispy Pro Countertop Glass Air Fryer. Shark Ninja, elevating now the fryer experience. The Ninja Crispy Pro is a family-sized cooking system that comes with a 6-quart and 2.5-quart glassware storage lids, crisper plates, and a modular base for any occasion. The clean, crisp glassware is designed for non-toxic cooking and storing. Go from frozen to crispy with the thermal shock-resistant, nice graphics, shock-resistant, clean, crisp glassware. The Ninja Crispy is powerful. It's an 1,800-watt air fryer that can cook 7.5 pounds of chicken, feeding up to 10 people. It's customizable with 6-in-1 functions: max crisp, air fry, bake, and roast, recrisp, and dehydrate. For more information on the Ninja Crispy Pro, visit the link in our description or go to sharkninja.ca. You ready to wow and dazzle everybody here? By the way, thanks to everybody in Kitchener yesterday. Man, you want to talk about getting treated first class? Thank you to the Rangers from Birchie all the way down. the legendary Joe Birch, who did a great job hosting. And Mike McKenzie was on the program yesterday as well. And UC Ahokas, the head coach, to say nothing of the player. How funny was Matthew Andonovski, by the way?
I can't wait to release that interview.
That one is going to be fantastic. I thought Jack Pridham was Jack Pridham was exceptional. Like really, really good. Good organization. Anyway, thanks to the Kitchener Rangers for hosting and giving Zach another hat. How many hats do you have?
Well, behind me, I have 6 on this new bookshelf thing that I've gotten courtesy of our friend Nick Caroli. I still have one more to build, but I ran out of time, so it's not completed. So I've still got this picture stuck in the middle behind me, but I got another one to go up. So that'll mean more hats, Jeff.
Can I make a request?
Yeah, what's up?
I want a picture of Alberga on there.
Okay. I can sort that out. I can do that.
I just want Alberga on the show somewhere every single day.
Okay.
All
okay.
right.
I will put him up there, and we'll have him on the show every day. Yes.
Done.
Deal.
Something Alberga every day. The sheet is powered by FanDuel. Play your game with FanDuel. It's the NHL season. FanDuel, your home for all the action on the ice. From Blue Line to BetSlip, we've got you covered all season with unique promos, live offerings, and more features to let you play your game. Missed puck drop, no sweat with a live same-game parlay. You can build your bets up until the final buzzer. Download FanDuel Sportsbook today and play your game. Please play responsibly. 18 plus and physically located in Ontario. If you have questions or concerns about your gambling or the gambling of someone close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. Someone who makes his parlays responsibly every day is our friend Philly. What do you got today, Zach?
Yes, responsibly. They may be dumb, but they are responsible.
Oh, you're responsible for what?
I was having a debate last night about the Tom Wilson hit myself, and I was going back and forth on it and thinking about supplemental discipline. Is anything need to be involved there? Is it dirty? Is it clean? And this is the conversation that was happening between myself and the group chat there last night when we were breaking it all down and looking at it. And you know, the one thing that I kept coming back to when I was trying to make my determination on what I felt was, you know, this might be a cop out, Jeff, but I'm a Zucker for a
Andrew
huge
Kopp,
check.
Jason Zucker, Vincent Trocheck. That's all right. Might be a cop out, but I'm a Zucker for a huge check. Andrew Kopp, Jason Zucker, Vincent Trocheck. 5 wins you 268-74. Make your weekend go smooth, Junior.
Not the best work. I'm well aware of that one, but I
did my
best.
Sometimes the most obvious thing is the right way to go about it. And every now and then
there's
you got to
also 2 games.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's only a couple of games on the schedule, but like sometimes you want to give me and the rest of everybody watching and listening here like a little bit of a tap in. Like, okay, he said Kopp, so he means Andrew Kopp. What they do, a check? So Vinny Trocheck, that one's coming in a mile away. Like, it's kind of an easy one to read. You're a Zucker for it.
Yeah, kept it simple. Kept it
simple. Right. Keep it simple going into the weekend. Buddy, good luck putting the rest of your apartment together again.
I'm off to Kitchener tonight, actually.
Oh, that's right. You're back to Kitch for game 1.
Yeah. I'm posting this podcast and driving right out to Kitchener. So we've got more stuff to do out there in Kitchener tonight. Yes.
Awesome. Say hello to all of our friends in Kitchener, and best of luck to the Kitchener Rangers. Well, best of luck to all the OHL teams. We love them all equally. Right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right. Listen, CHL playoffs well underway. Enjoy those wherever you are in Canada. Hopefully your hometown team does well. In the meantime, we're off until Monday, 1 o'clock Eastern. We return. Again, no Wish next week, so we're filling spaces there. Maybe someone from the chat is just going to come on the show. We open auditions now for next week. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you again Monday, 1 o'clock Eastern for The Sheet. Adjourned. Jeff Merrick along with you. Hope you enjoyed the program today. If you did, or maybe even if you didn't, they can't all be gems, folks. Please hit the subscribe button. Also a reminder, every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, Johnny Lazarus, Colby Cohen, I call them the Impact Players. You might know them as a tandem that makes up the Morning Cup of Hockey. Also DFO Live at noon Eastern. This year, your host Tyler Yaremchuk alongside Carter Hutton. Full day's worth of programming right here on Daily Face-Off, your favorite YouTube hockey channel. And as a reminder as well, Zach Phillips, our producer here for The Sheet, said if you subscribe, he'll buy you a puppy. It's true.